Was it what's the session that is causing participation problems?
Well, one of our editors has a conflict. We expect Glenn is already here. The second is here. The third has never actually been to an IETF meeting before and is having trouble with registration issues.
Okay.
So he's been doing great stuff as an editor, but he may not join us. The real truth is that the working group is very heavily Eurocentric. I think I am perhaps, myself and Greg, I think are the only regular participants who are actually in North American time.
I see.
But let's give it a couple of minutes. So in 2 or 3 minutes, I'll ask James. James has agreed to go ahead and do the opening ceremonies, and then we will see if we can manage to have some useful discussion. If not, it has already been suggested that we schedule another interim in a more Euro-friendly time zone in the near future.
Okay, sounds good.
To get started with this. Welcome. This is the Jsonpath meeting at IETF 111. If you're in the wrong place, I'm sorry. You might want to turn around and go a different direction. I'll keep this brief. This is the note well. We're one of the first sessions, so you might not be familiar with this. Please note well, this is an IETF meeting, so the rules and procedures of the IETF apply to this. If you have any questions, you can pester myself or even Francesca, who's hiding in the chat. First things first, are we going to elect anybody to do notes? I guess if we're going to I guess there's not much here. I guess, how about this? Is there any agenda bashing that people want to bring up?
So James, as usual, I will take notes and email them to you. And with that and our recording and so on, we've historically gotten along pretty well.
Yep. And we're all looking at, and I'm looking out on Jabber. The blue sheets are automatic, and if we don't have any agenda bashing, we can just quickly cut through what we plan to be on the agenda. I guess that means we're good. So really the 4 issues that we've got here today is the regular expressions work, determination of the descendant selector, bracket notation, which is both 92 and 93, and 110, which is filtering predicates. Tim, how do you want to play this?
Okay, I'm going to say that in the absence of 2 of our 3 editors, and also a couple of our other most energetic contributors, Greg has a work conflict he can't get out of. I am not really inclined to go ahead with this at this point because the people who are closest to these issues aren't here. This is unfortunate. I'll be frank. I'm a little upset. This has been scheduled for months and months, and if people weren't going to come, they could have said so, but they didn't. But here we are, anyhow. So, having said that, is there anybody who's on the call who would like to raise? Who has something? Who would like to raise a discussion around any of these issues, or has something else they need to bring to the attention of the Jsonpath working group? Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, just a point of order, really. I think Greg expressed the fact he wasn't able to attend very early on when he heard the meeting time.
Oh, really? Okay. My apologies to Greg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, not hearing any voices, I am inclined to declare defeat, and we will, as already suggested by multiple people, proceed to schedule an interim meeting in the near future and do so at a more Euro-friendly time, which means I get to do it too.
Tim, should we set perhaps a couple of windows now in terms of what sort of dates would be appropriate, at least for ourselves and for those in attendance?
Good idea. Let's do that. So right now we're coming up. We're in the late stages of July.
Yep.
So a sensible time to do this would be in the first half of August. So that would be during the weeks of Monday, August 2nd, or Monday, August 9th. Does that sound reasonable? Or should we get
perhaps a little early? Also consider that a lot of Europeans will be on summer vacation in the month of August. I would propose actually putting it out later in August, but I'd like to hear if anybody else has thoughts.
Or we could just slide it to, say, the second week in September. Everybody's sort of back in a regular rhythm by that point in time.
Okay, Glenn, did you want to say anything?
I was just going to say I couldn't make the last week in August.
Okay.
So I suggest we look at the week of Monday, September 13th. Does that?
Yep. Okay. We'll put it to, if we put it to the mailing list and solicit feedback, then we can use it. But if we've got a date to start with, that'll work.
Fair enough. Okay, so for those of you, I just want to say a couple of words for those of you who are here, who are just interested in Jsonpath and haven't been part of the party. If you go find our GitHub repo, which is really easy to find, our editors have been doing a really great job of having an editor's draft in an easy to find location. I don't have the URL handy, but if you go to our pages, it's strongly linked. So if you want to go read the state of the art, and if you see something that looks terribly wrong, this is your invitation to let us know and see if we can fix it. If you go and look at our charter page, there is also some links there to some useful resources, including an incredibly useful comparison of all the known Jsonpath implementations and where they agree and disagree. So for those of you who are new to it, we've been, despite the fact that our progress is unsteady and ununiform, but not bad. The draft has been moving forward, and I think we will have an excellent chance of producing a Jsonpath RFC that will be super useful to the community. So feel free to dig in and have a look at it. I see somebody sharing their screen. Oh, Glenn has posted a couple the base pointer into the chat. So if you're interested, you can go and have a look there. So James, without any other ado, shall we go ahead and adjourn this?
For those of you who showed up, thank you very much for attending today, and sorry for the outcome.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Oh, wait a second. Somebody wants to talk. Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just able to join. What is the outcome? So, what was the outcome?
Oh, we've had a bunch of our active people and 2 of our 3 editors have various conflicts and aren't able to make it. So,
okay.
So we have agreed to have an interim in September. We're handicapped by the fact that a large majority of our users are Eurocentric, and so are more apt to be available when we do that. So sorry about that. People who have input are encouraged to look at the docs and toss their input in, and we'll look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.